The Premier League is back and it starts with a bang. Final score at Anfield, Liverpool 4, Bournemouth 2. And boy, this was an entertaining game, man. The Premier League is finally back. The new season has started. Everyone was watching this one. And I can't lie, Bournemouth gave Liverpool a bit of a scare. Liverpool done well in the end to try and, fight their way to a victory. But it was looking peak at certain points. And Bournemouth actually done really, really well to to go to Anfield, and to really push Liverpool to the limits because Liverpool had to dig deep for this one. And this is a version of Liverpool we kind of seen last season as well. Liverpool really trying to sometimes being dominant, but then making silly errors at the back and conceding easy goals. The performance not really being up to the level that we're used to seeing from Liverpool. But in the end, they got so much quality that, in the end, it makes a difference. When you got somebody like Salah who's a fantastic goal scorer, when you've got people like Chiesa who can come off the bench and make a difference, it kind of helps. So yeah, man, I think Bournemouth would have deserved a draw here. I have to give them credit. I thought actually Bournemouth played really well in certain spells. They didn't let themselves get bullied too much in midfield and overall on the pitch. They didn't go to Anfield with the complex of, we're just here, this is the big Liverpool, they're the champions. No, they actually went for it. And it's testament to the 2 goals of Antoine Semenyo. And we'll talk about him in a minute and what happened on the pitch as well. But I actually thought this was good. This was good from Bournemouth. But credit has to go to Liverpool. They're the champions for a reason. To be able to dig this deep and then get 2 goals in the end as well, that has to be, credit has to be given to them for that. I thought the first goal was really, really well worked. Ekatike, who starts the attack, actually combining with his teammates down the left-hand side towards the middle of the park, then pulls off or pulls away rather, goes towards the centre forward position, receives the ball, bit of a ricochet, and the calm finish to make it 1-0. And this is one thing I told people already when I watched him against Crystal Palace in the Community Shield. I said, this guy is a proper centre forward. A modern centre forward as well. Not just someone who's going to wait in the box and try and wait for crosses or try and wait to be fed in order to finish the chances that he's getting, but also drifting out to the left, drifting out to the right, combining with his teammates. That is the modern day centre forward, and Ekatike done really well today. Obviously, he got subbed off quite early. Well, I wouldn't say early, but in the second half. But I thought his performance was excellent today. He got the Man of the Match award as well. Probably deserved, I would say. But Ekatike, people, I'm telling you, watch out for this guy. Technically, I think he's very sound. The finishing, we've seen it, is there. We've seen it against Crystal Palace, that low type of finish. We've seen it again today. Drifting out to either side of the pitch and try and help his teammates, allowing sometimes others to play in that number 9 position, very rotational during the game. So that's something I really liked from I was going to say Antoine, from Ekatike. Hugo Ekatike is a very, very good number 9. And quite frankly, I don't know why Liverpool would need Isak, because if you bring in Isak, do you not throw off the whole balance of the team? Because who's getting benched now? Is it Ekatike who's getting benched and who just got his first Premier League goal for his new club? Or, I don't know, do you bench someone in midfield? Who do you bench? Szoboszlai, he was actually one of their better players today, even though the overall Liverpool performance wasn't amazing. Who do you bench? McAllister, I thought he was good today as well in spells. I don't know who you bench because, like I said, you could bring in Isak, fair play, but you could throw off the whole dynamic and the whole chemistry of the team. So you've got to be careful with what you're wishing for, really and truly. Be careful what you wish for, Liverpool fans, because if you bring in Isak, yes, it's amazing. Yes, it's a fantastic signing, but does it really benefit you, or does it make you any better? Does it make you any better than you already are? That's the question I'm asking myself. So, but yeah, let's wait and see what happens with this one. The second goal, Gakpo, really good. Receives the ball on the left-hand side. We've seen this countless times. Hesitates a little bit, hezzy, and then bottom right corner, easy finish, 2-0. And that's when Bournemouth actually woke up, because Bournemouth pulled one back through Antoine Semenyo. What was the first goal again that he scored? Oh yeah, the counter-attack. I have to say, Bournemouth's counter-attack was absolutely fantastic. Textbook counter-attack. Liverpool pressing high, a lot of possession, tried to score the goal, lose the ball, and there they go on a counter-attack. And Antoine Semenyo actually came in the back of Van Dijk. And I actually think Van Dijk should have done a bit better because his eyes were so fixated on Brooks, he was trying to cross in the ball, that he actually forgot, Semenyo was coming behind him. But then again, you could also blame Konate a little bit because then you could say Konate should have been a bit tighter onto Semenyo. Semenyo, proper centre forward finish. It gets a slight deflection from Alisson's arm, I think. And yeah, he makes it 2-1. And the second goal, I mean, Antoine Semenyo literally just runs through that whole pitch and just powers through everybody to make it 2-2. What a superb finish. Low and hard, left foot finish. I don't know if he's right footed or left footed, but at this point, does it really matter because he's good with both feet? Brilliant finish from Antoine Semenyo. There was a shout for a handball as well in the first half. It was a bit of a dubious one because, it kind of hits Senesi on his thigh, then not quite his arm, but then he sort of tries to grab the ball, and I don't quite remember if the whistle had already gone or not, because if it has, fair play. But if it hasn't, that would have been a case for handball, That would have been a case for handball. So overall, I thought Bournemouth actually done okay, I believe they need to maybe try and make a few more additions to the squad, maybe one or two. I know that they were rumoured with Kalimwendo as well, if I'm not wrong, but now Kalimwendo is close to joining Nottingham Forest. I believe they need somebody to, replace Ouattara, who obviously is going to join Brentford now. There's a body missing in there, so maybe one or two more additions, could do them some good. I don't know where Kluivert was today. Maybe you guys can tell me in the comments. Obviously, Gravenberch was missing from Liverpool side because obviously he became a dad, so he was missing. That was a big miss as well because when Gravenberch plays in that midfield, he really controls that game or the tempo when he plays in that lone 6 role, receiving the ball from the centre halves, distributing it quite comfortably. So you could tell that today was a big, big miss when it came to that. And then Liverpool get the winner. Salah puts in a cross. Petrovic kind of scoops it away. Ricochet in the box. The defenders can't really get rid of the ball. And who's there? Chiesa kind of slices the ball with his right foot and it ends at the back of the net. He scores the winner, so we thought. And listen, Chiesa deserves this because, it was a very tough time for him, a very tough time for him last season. Didn't really get to play much, And I would say even this season that he's been rumoured with a move away from Liverpool, but now obviously I've just seen after the game he came out with a quote that he's gonna talk to the board and he wants to stay and fight for titles, and fair play. I understand that, but I don't know, a player of the quality of Chiesa, who I rate by the way, I think he should be playing week in, week out, man. I do believe he should be playing week in, week out. So I don't know what's gonna happen with this one, but overall I thought this was an average Liverpool performance. It wasn't the best Liverpool performance, but it can be better. It can be better. And in the end, credit to Mo Salah for chasing that ball, because to be doing that towards the end of the game, he could have just cruised and chilled and gone, defenders have it anyway, we're 3-2 up. Why bother? But no, chased after that ball. And remember what I told you guys about Mo Salah. He does them stop-start things, which kind of throws off defenders. They don't really know where to go to. And that gives Mo Salah that tiny inch of space, and bang, he finishes. So that was a good finish. Weaker foot as well, so bottom low finishes all across the board today, almost. So but unfortunately, the game was ruined by an event that happened during the game, and this is probably the only thing that I actually want to talk about passionately. If we're really being honest, I could care less about the game. Can you imagine, after giving such a wonderful tribute to Diogo Jota, once again, God rest his soul, and God bless his family, thoughts and prayers go to his family. After such a wonderful tribute by the fans, you've seen the tifo, for his brother and himself, Diogo Jota. One Liverpool fan decides to go and act a fool. One Liverpool fan decides to go and act a fool. Now, I've seen the footage back, and I can neither confirm or deny if the person was sat in the wheelchair. I don't know. But either way, the Liverpool fan, Semenyo was about to take a throw in, and the Liverpool fan goes absolutely berserk onto Semenyo. Now, nobody could have read lips from that angle, from where I saw the footage. But if Antoine Semenyo goes to the referee and says, hey, buddy, I think I've been racially abused. Not even I think, I heard it. Because Antoine Semenyo was about to take the throw in and the fan was right behind him. Antoine Semenyo actually looked back. So he heard what was said. The fact, first of all, that he carried on playing, I respect it. I wouldn't have carried on. I said this a million times. In those instances, it's my dignity and my self-respect before anything. I could care less about scoring goals. I could care less about winning a game of football. I don't care. It's about my dignity. It's about the color of my skin. And it's about self-respect. So if that was me, I'm walking off the pitch. But that's me. Credit to Semenyo, he carried on playing and he actually bagged twice. So respect. Now, like I said, this football game has been ruined by that one action. And I know that not all Liverpool fans are like that. I know that for sure, because obviously I've got friends that support Liverpool nowhere near that stupid behavior that we saw today. But now my question goes to the FA. What are all of these initiatives for then? Taking the knee, say no to racism, the banners, the adverts, the social media campaigns. What is it all for? If people can just go to the stadium and do that. Adam Smith gave an interview, the captain gave an interview after the game, and he said it's a shame. And he said it himself. He said if that was him, he would have gone and reacted. Oh, but I forgot, we live in a country where, as a black man, if I get racially abused, I'm getting judged on the way that I respond to a racial abuse. Crazy. I've never seen this in my life. So it's a shame that this game has been ruined by that action after the wonderful tribute to Diogo Jota. And again, the question goes to not just the FA, by the way, to UEFA, to FIFA, because I know at one point the UEFA tried to implement like a 3-step protocol. So basically, you can get racially, or at the time, somebody could racially abuse you 3 times, and that's when you go to the referee. Harsh measures have to be taken. Now, I've since heard that the Merseyside police have arrested the guy. But again, what are the sanctions going to be? Are they just going to tell him off and then see you at Anfield next week type of thing? Is this what they're going to tell him? Or are they actually going to fine him, ban him? Because these sanctions have to be harsh. They have to. Because people have to look at that and go, if I do that, I can face the same consequences. But when there's no consequences and the only thing that we see is taking the knee, is no to racism banners, is adverts, changing faces, black and white, and then you got Messi, Ronaldo, you got Benzema, you got Gareth Bale saying, say no to racism, no al racismo, no au racisme. In all languages, what's that going to help? Like, let's be honest with each other. What is that going to help? How is that going to help? How do people get educated on not racially abusing or not to racially abuse someone by watching a clip on television to when someone says no to racism? How is that teaching someone not to do it? It's disgusting, man. It's absolutely disgusting. And bro, it's the first game of the Premier League season, the first game of the new season, and we're already talking about racism already. It's disgusting, man. I shouldn't even be here talking about this. I should be here talking about the game, etc., etc. And you know what the funny thing is? Next weekend, we might just see that. Banners saying no to racism, hashtags, but then 4 or 5 months down the line, the same thing might happen again. But then again, it goes beyond football. It's a cultural thing. It's a cultural thing. Because I'm sure these things happen outside of football as well. But if people are not educated enough outside of football, how do you expect people to be educated in football about these things? Bro, it's a shame, man. It's an absolute shame. And big up to Semenyo. He carried on, but if that was me, I just would have walked off. I do not care. Do not care. And you know what comes when what comes with it when you make these kind of decisions to walk off the pitch. Oh, you're letting the racists win. It's not about winning or losing. It's about my dignity. That's what it's about. Oh, just shut them up by scoring a goal. I told you, I could care less about scoring a goal in that instance if that was me. I don't care. I don't care. If that makes broadcasters lose money, club lose money, sponsors lose money, I do not care. I don't care. But anyway, it's a shame that I had to end this video with that because I would have loved to sit here and talk about the game properly. In the end, I didn't really dissect it the way I would have wanted to, but yeah, like I said, it's a shame. But anyway, tomorrow, more games coming up, people. We've got Man City playing, we've got Tottenham playing, we've got Aston Villa against Newcastle playing, Newcastle without Alexander Isak. And Sunday, the big one, Manchester United against Arsenal. We'll be there to watch that one for sure, guaranteed. But anyway, people, like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. It's road to 20K closing in on 18, and I shall see you tomorrow. Peace.